show this week's final order cutoff. Choices for this week, it will be for March 1st, 2021. So as always, I like to go to the Previews World website. That's Diamond Distributors, the main comic distributors website, for seeing what there is to order through your local comic shops. I usually go ahead, the way to get there is to go ahead and go through to the final order cutoff tab on catalog, and it will bring up all of the retailers and what they have to order. Now, starting off with this week, I would like to highlight a lot of independent books, mostly through Image Comics. Crossover 1, it's been ordered, number 1 first print was ordered very, very heavily, and I still see it at just about any comic shop I go to within a 50 to 100 mile radius. That could be really good for the second print, just because it probably won't be ordered as much due to there still being first print copies on the shelves. Number 3, I'm going to pass. It's again a really heavily ordered book. Maybe that second print will do something later on, but as you go further down the numbers, he usually doesn't pop off as well. Anyways, going on to the next big hitter is probably Department of Truth number 1 fourth print. Now, that one I'm putting a lot of stock into, just because later printings for really hot books that didn't get high initial orders can do very, very well, just like Something Is Killing the Children. And it is the same writer for Something Is Killing the Children, which kind of bodes well for that as well. I'm personally going to order like 5 copies of it, going to just sit on it for a while, see if anything happens with the movie or TV show that they said that it has been optioned for. I'm also going to go in and get a copy of second print of 4 and 5, just in case. Again, this one has a lot more hype than Crossover at the moment, which again could bode well for Crossover, but who knows. Haha number 2, second print. It's another one I'm going to grab just because it follows the same art style as the reprint of number 1. Those could go well as a set if they do it through the whole line. It's a limited series, so there's a little more risk there. Usually those don't have as big legs, but if it's very well received and the orders are high, sometimes those turn into ongoings. I'm not really going in for number 3, just kind of passing on further issues. I haven't had a chance to read it. I've heard it's good, interesting, and a little bit, it falls in the horror realm, so that's maybe something I'll pick up later on. Stray Dogs number 1's got a second print and another horror cover. It could go well, it could not. Again, just probably grabbing the second print of number 1, passing on any further issues of Stray Dogs, just because I don't know that it will have legs to stand on later on as a series. Let's see, IDW, nothing crazy. They got a Best of Michelangelo collection, but nothing really else I'm looking at. DC on Previews World is still super botched, so there's nothing really to order through Diamond, and the DC site is a nightmare to navigate for new releases. Now, in Marvel Comics, oh boy, Alien is the big release that's going to be coming out late March, early April. I love just about all of the covers. My favorites, I actually have 3 favorites. I love the A cover in Huck Lee, the Gleason, which looks exactly like a movie poster, which is amazing, and the Momoko. That one is probably my favorite cover out of this week's solicits, just because you got that big old alien queen head, you got that spine of the xenomorph, and then you have the facehugger egg down the bottom there. And it's so well put together and has such a unique art style. Usually I'm not crazy about the Momoko books, but that one is pretty solid. Here's a black blank. You can get a white marker or some other color and make a cool picture out of that. Maybe make a alien coming out of the shadows. Newack headshots. I was a fan of some of the headshots, and that's an interesting one. It shows a little mouth coming out, but again, not too much my thing. Same with the limb. I love Scotty Young stuff. Seeing a xenomorph in Scotty Young style is pretty great. As far as other Marvel, there's one other book that I'm kind of excited about. I love Carnage. Just usually throw the wrench into the monotony of Marvel. Black, White, and Blood sounds like a good limited series. Only 4 issues, so it's not that not too hard to get invested into it, just because it will be running short, only a couple months maybe. I love the Gleason, and I love the In-Hook Lee variant cover. Those are both pretty awesome. This one kind of follows the same style as the Gwenom versus Carnage books. As far as the rest of Marvel, one more, Scream. I love to read Scream. The character is pretty interesting. It's gone through multiple different hosts, and I think the current one is Andy Benton, if I remember the name correctly. She's pretty great. Actually, no, she's like fused with a police officer or something else or other. It's a little bit crazy, but good covers. They cover and the Ryan Brown cover pretty solid. Not the Stormbreakers, but I'm not crazy about it. Again, Marvel's this week is huge on reprints. Marvel's got Taskmaster 3 second printing. We have the first appearance of this Teguki, and he's a Korean superhero. They've been really big on pushing these Eastern Hemisphere characters. They're huge, and they're trying to put them into shows and other main series, this and that. So I would put some heavy stock into Taskmaster 3 second print. There's a chance that it'll get ordered very heavily, but since Taskmaster, the miniseries, wasn't that big, it could go heavily under-ordered. Dynamite's just got a bunch of Deja Torres, Vampirella. If that's your thing, if you have a market for them, go for it, but otherwise, they're just a lot of pretty covers. Boom Studios doesn't have anything crazy out this week. Once in Future is fun, but they're on issue 17. If you can get some of the back issues and trade paperbacks, that's great, but I would only go for earlier issues for that. Power Rangers has been pretty hype. You never know what's going to come out of those, so who knows. As far as other comic books, there's nothing really that's going crazy and catching my attention besides Hollow Heart #1, second print. It's from Vault Comics. It's a smaller publisher. I don't know that it will do well later on, but it wouldn't hurt to grab a hype book second print no matter what. You never know what's going to go on with those, and that's about it. There's some baseball cards and little jewelry, figures, but nothing else I am picking up for this week.